Well, we've just had the session where the business community from South Africa had a briefing in terms of South Africa's plan in terms of ensuring that we do have energy, or we do address the issue of renewable energy, or one can say the issue of the strategy that the president spoke about a week ago when he met with the envoys. But with me I have the CEO of Eskom, who is going to speak to us. He was part of the panel in terms of his observation in the report that we've just received from those who are compiling the report. Good afternoon, Mr. Ruyter. How are you?
Good and you.
Eskom, clearly South Africans, when they see you, they really want to know that in terms of the plan that we have as a country, is Eskom going to benefit? Are we likely to see your institution finding solutions or getting out of the quagmire that you find yourself in terms of energy supply to South Africa?
Yeah, that's absolutely spot on. What we need is additional capacity. And the quickest way in which we can deploy this capacity is by implementing the sort of strategy that was announced here today at COP. This is the solution to our energy needs. We have funding lined up, we've got investors lined up, and of course we have the ability to connect to the grid in Mpumalanga, in the heart of coal country, to make sure that this energy transition is a just one, which is absolutely critical, of course.
We are still having challenges as we speak back home. In terms of your observation, currently, what is the issue? Load shedding, stage 2, 4, sometimes 6. What is at the heart of this crisis right now?
At the heart of the crisis is that we have a fleet of coal-fired power stations that is old, that has been poorly maintained, and that is the subject of significant criminal activity. The theft of coal, it was well documented. We recently had 2 arrests at Kendal Power Station, and all of these activities come together to make it extremely difficult to deliver electricity sustainably. So the solution is to add more capacity as quickly as we can. And for the past 3 years, that's what I've been saying, as often and as loudly as I can. We need immediately between 4 to 6 gigawatts of new capacity, which is about the size of an entire Kusile power station. And we need that essentially immediately.
You spoke about the challenges you have with theft, almost like sabotage. Are you not afraid that even if you were to bring in new forms of energy or capacity on the grid with renewables, you will experience the same challenges of sabotage?
Look, first of all, I think we need to say that any form of criminal activity or sabotage cannot be condoned, and it has to be deplored. And this is where we need some very firm action from law enforcement to come to the party and make sure that arrests are made and that crime is prevented. Shutting the stable door after the horse is bolted really doesn't do anybody any good. But I think what is very important is to emphasize that the transition is not a transition to be feared. The research done, released here by the National Business Initiative, has convincingly demonstrated that even though there will be some job losses in the coal mining sector, these job losses will be more than compensated for. In fact, there will be 300,000 net new jobs created, the majority of those in the heart of coal country. So we are not talking about a binary switch. One day it's coal, the next day it's sun and wind. It's a gradual transition during which we will allow people the time to make the move into new forms of energy that will be more reliable but also cheaper.
And finally, people have been calling for your resignation. Are you still soldiering on? Are you going to continue with your work? I mean, there's so much pressure. Some South Africans saying you don't deliver and you must go. Are you still soldiering on? Are you still optimistic you can get Eskom out of this mess?
I've always said that I cannot fix Eskom. We can fix Eskom. It has to be a collective effort. People need to pay for electricity, particularly the municipalities, if I can deliver a message. Outstanding municipal debt is now sitting at 54 billion rand. Unaffordable for Eskom to continue to carry that. We need law enforcement, we need appropriate policies. So I think there's a big opportunity here, but we collectively as a country have to seize that opportunity.
Thank you so much, CEO. That was Eskom CEO talking to us here at COP27 about the issue of energy supply and just energy transition. Back to you in Johannesburg.